Now this story is about him. God said to him to go to a city in the olden times and teach them spirituality. So the green man decided to test everybody before he would teach them spirituality. So he said, "Okay, folks, I want to tell you what water of life is. Whoever will drink water of life will have eternal life." And a lot of people gathered and they said, "We want water of life." Khidr Alay Salam, the green man, a mystical figure who had a story with Moses. Moses was sent to see green man, Khidr. You know, if you study messengers of God and their stories, you would have an idea that he was divinely spoilt. Moses was divinely spoiled. He was very outspoken and very frank with God. I don't know how successful was he in being frank with God, but he tried his utmost. So he would say anything to God. And sometimes God would say, "Yes, let's do it." And some other times God would take mickey out of him. He would ask God questions and God would, most of the time, God would reply. Sometimes God would see red to him. So one day, Moses asked God a very strange question. So Moses asked God, "Is there a greater scholar than I am?" Moses expected God to say, "No, you are the greatest." And God said, "Yes, there is." Moses didn't like it. And he said, "Who is it?" And then God said, "He lives in the sea." So how would I find him? Okay, take a fish with you, and wherever fish jumps out of your hands, this is where he's going to be. So he set out on a journey holding a fish, and he gave the fish to one of his disciples. So halfway down the journey, the disciple who was holding the fish accidentally dropped the fish, and the fish was supposed to pop out by itself, but he dropped it, and Moses waited and waited and waited there, and nobody came. So he went back to Mount of Sinai and asked God. He never came. And God said, "You didn't do exactly what I told you to do." I said, "No, I did." As the fish fell on the ground, I stopped there. God said, "No, it was dropped by your disciple. The fish was supposed to pop out by itself." "Oh, okay, let me try again." And he went back. And this time he found Khidr. And Moses said to him, "What is that special knowledge that you have that makes you a greater scholar than I am?" Now, Khidr Alay Salam, the green man, is a very calm, cool dude character. So the green man, Khidr, he said, "You have to travel with me, and then you will know what knowledge do I possess." So they started their journey. They wanted to cross the river from one end to the other. So they boarded a ship, and it was a brand new ship. The green man, as he boarded the ship, he made a hole somewhere in the boat. And Moses was saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I said, "Keep quiet." They set out some principles and some rules and some regulations. Like the green man said, you cannot afford to be impatient with me. You just watch. And when he objected, "Why did you make a hole in the ship?" He said, "Look, you're arguing with me. We cannot go any further. That's the end of the story." And Moses said, "I'm sorry. I won't do it again." This story is in Quran. And then, they arrived on the other side of the river, and they went into a village, and they were hungry and nobody offered them food. And the green man saw a house and its walls were falling. And they asked them for food and they said, no, sorry. But what the green man did, he started to repair the house. And he started the repair work, and Moses said, we asked them for food. They didn't offer food to us. And in return, you're repairing their house. It boggles my mind what kind of a man you are. And he said, remember, you're not supposed to do this, but you have done it again. So end of the story, we're not together anymore. And he said sorry again, and they started again. They went into the village, and there came a boy, a handsome boy, and the green man killed him. And Moses was angry again. Why did you kill this innocent boy? He said, this is over between you and me. So this green man is a character who has lived for over 1,000 years now, and he hasn't died, and he is still at large. Now this story is about him. God said to him to go to a city in the olden times and teach them spirituality. So the green man decided to test everybody before he would teach them spirituality. So he said, okay, folks, I want to tell you what water of life is. In Urdu and Persian, we call it Aab-e Hayat. Whoever will drink water of life will have eternal life. And a lot of people gathered, and they said, we want water of life. So he said, in order to obtain water of life, we need to go inside a river. And at the bottom of the river, we will find water of life. And the river was called River of Darkness, or you can call it the Dark River. So he took them there, and they were looking for water of life everywhere at the bottom of the river, and they couldn't find water of life. So the green man said to them, can you see these small, tiny pebbles down there? And they said, yeah, we can see them. He said, pick them up. They're very important. Pick them up. And they said, you brought here for water of life, and we did not find water of life here. And now you're asking us to pick these useless pebbles. We don't believe you. So a majority of those people got really fed up, and some of them still believed in the green man, and they picked up those pebbles. When they came out from the dark river, they realized that those pebbles were diamonds, pearls. Now, the green man said to all these people, the water of life is not there in the river of darkness. It is hidden in your belief in me. And then he said, water of life that gives you eternal life is initiation of the heart. So water of life is referred to as activation of the heart. Those whose hearts are activated, they find eternal life. And the world and its contents is the river of darkness. And this is the river of darkness, this world. When we are born in this world, our focus is on everything else but our life. We abuse our abilities, we abuse our chances, we abuse our opportunities to become united with God. We abuse everything for the comfort and luxury of our physical body. And we do not even think of catering for the spiritual needs and necessities of our souls. This is how blind we become, because this world is the river of darkness where everything turns into darkness in our souls, our heart, our intellect. Everything is badly affected by darkness. This world is filled with utter darkness. So this activation of the heart is Abe Hayat. So this water, water of life is very important. And this is exactly what Jesus said. I'll give you eternal life. Not many people know about this opening of the heart. A lot of people do claim that they know spirituality. However, they do not know what is the first step for any commoner to initiate himself into spirituality. That is the opening of the heart. And those who do talk about opening of the heart, they hardly know anything about opening of the heart. They take opening of the heart in a metaphorical sense. Like my heart has been expanded in terms of having ability of comprehension. That is to do with the mind. Intellect is connected with the mind. Intellect is not connected with the heart. So the green man said, water of life is initiation of the heart. And when Moses came to know of this knowledge, then he came back to God. God, I want this knowledge. And according to Quran, this is when he prayed to God. Oh God, do my Sharai Sadr. Rabbi shrah li sadri, yassir li amri. Oh Lord, shrah li sadri. Please open my heart. Yassir li amri. And the task that you have granted to me, make it easy for me. And then God taught him initiation of the heart. Then the mystical formula given to him was Rahman. Ya Rahman. This was given to him. Those who were the nation of Moses, their hearts were activated with the name Ya Rahman. Every Murshid Kamil sent by God is an acting green man of his time. Sarkar Gohar Shahi has made it very easy for people to understand what Sarkar Gohar Shahi has to offer to them. However, prior to Sarkar Gohar Shahi, any appointed spiritual guide would not straightaway tell you that he was able to grant you with the name of God and was able to open your heart, and your heart could be initiated. They would first test you, like Khidr did. First he spoke how great the water of life is, and then he took his companions to the river of darkness, where they searched for it everywhere. It's nowhere. He wanted to test them whether they believe him or not. So those who believed him, they were the ones who were granted God's name. And those who didn't believe, they were deprived of it. However, Sarkar has made it so simple. Sarkar has mentioned it. Come and let me activate your heart with God's name. Sarkar has explained how important and how crucial having the heart activation is, because people have not heard of this spiritual knowledge in the last 400 years. You may have heard people talking about initiation of the heart. However, those who talk about it, even they do not know what initiation of the heart is. And now see how lucky we are that we have not only been granted, but we have been delegated to share it with everybody else. A prophet is not able to share his prophethood with anybody else, right? A messenger is not able to share his messengerhood with anybody else. A saint cannot share his sainthood with anybody else. But what you have been granted, you are able to share it with others. And the more you share with others what you have got, the more you are grateful. And this is how you express your true and genuine gratitude to God for what He has granted to you. And that is the water of life, Aab-e Hayat.
ALRA TV, the place to connect with God.